Okay, Rams, we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to go through the questions on our test and talk about the most common mistakes and help you figure out what mistakes that you made so that you don't make them again. Okay, question 1. A recipe for cake requires 3/4 cup of flour. Rudy wants to make 3/5 of that recipe. How many cups of flour should Rudy use to make the cake? The most common mistake that I saw is that students automatically went to flip a fraction. We only need a reciprocal when we're dividing fractions. So think about it. If one cake needs 3/4 of a cup of flour, and you're going to make a part of that recipe, 3/5 of it, you're going to make less than one whole recipe, less than one batch. So your number is going to get smaller. Remember, multiplying a number less than 1 by a number less than 1, your fraction gets smaller. So my answer is going to be less than either of those. And so many people got 1 and 1/4 because we decided to do 3/4 divided by 3/5, which would mean we'd flip a fraction, and we don't need to. Okay, so when you want to make 3/5 of that recipe, that's a fraction of another number, that means multiply. So all we're going to do is 3/4 times 3/5. And that one isn't too hard because all we do is just multiply straight across, and there's not even any simplifying. Now 4 times 5 is 20, and 3 times 3 is 9. I actually saw a few students who put 12 over 20. We forgot that 3 times 3 is 9 and not 12. We're letting little simple mistakes cause us the whole problem. Okay, I also saw some students go through here and go back to elementary, and they try to add fractions with the common denominator. And that is not needed on this problem. It's just 9/20. Okay, I'm going to do 2 at a time for each video, and then we can pause and go over them in a class. Okay, number 2. A polygon is shown on the coordinate grid. Which vertex is not listed above? Now, a lot of people here weren't quite sure what it was asking. Okay, this was a star question from a few years ago. All right, we have 5 points listed here, but we have 6 points on our hexagon. So which point up here is not listed in this list? That's all it's asking. Okay, so I just start going through them. Now, if I look from 0 to 1, there are 3 spaces here, so each one is 1/3. So 2 and 2/3. So I go over 1, 2 and 2/3, up 2/3. That's this one. That's point S. Okay. Over 2/3. So over 1, 2 spaces. And then up 1 and 2/3. Well, there's 1 and then 1, 2. That's a U. It's point U. Okay, so we have S and we have U. Now 1 and 1/3, so I go over 1 and 1/3 more space and up 2/3. That's just 2 of those squares. That's T. 1 and 1/3 over, so 1 and 1/3, and then up 2 and 2/3, so up 2, and then 1, 2 more squares. That is point P. Okay, over 3 and 1/3. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more square because each square is 1/3, and then up 1 and 2/3. So here's 1, and then 2 more spaces. So that one's point R. So which one did we not use? Point Q was not listed right here. Okay, that answer was point Q.